All right, we're live.
Yay!
I was just looking at your Slack messages, Josh. I didn't
Oh,
turn on
okay.
Slack this morning because I'm implementing. I was writing 1,000 words,
Oh, sweet.
so yeah, I'm gonna do that every
Sweet.
every morning. So I'll be resurrecting
Yes.
blogging.
It
So
has been, I've been doing that for about 2 or 3 weeks now,
yeah,
and I'm feeling that my writing is just getting easier and better and more fluid. Like,
hmm
I'm finding where I get into kind of the ideal zone for me is where where I want to be is where I find myself actually laughing and having fun while I'm writing, because that's when like the best, most creative stuff pops out. And doing 1,000 words a day every morning is making that happen more often. So
nice.
yeah, I'm just finding it's easier and better and faster. So
And what does it take you? About an hour to do it or less?
yeah, about an hour. It depends. Like, so what I'm trying to do is I start. I don't always do this, but what I'm trying to do is start by writing at least 250 words without editing any of it.
Yep.
Okay, and
Okay.
that's hard for me because I'm used to going back and tweaking as I go. So I'm actually starting with not starting with my daily email. I'm starting with I just have this huge text document where I'm like brain dumping everything I can think of about email courses
Nice.
for which is gonna be like I'm gonna just kind of pull pieces out of this and make my use it for my products and stuff. But I'm basically just brain dumping into that for at least 250 words to kind of warm things up, and then I'll shift over, do my email, and that is gonna end. It usually ends up being anywhere from 400 to 800 words, depending on how verbose I'm feeling. And yeah, it takes about an hour. I think I'm gonna get faster. I'm going to get faster at it. It would be faster if I didn't. The email slows me down because I have to write a subject line, beginning, and conclusion to the email, and I
Yeah.
probably spend about at least a third to half the time usually on those. So it might take me 20 minutes to write the email, and I might spend 10 or 15 minutes figuring out where to start it, where to end it, and what the subject line should be. So that slows me down. If it was just like yeah, if I was just writing on one big long project, I could probably get it down to like less than that, like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes.
Nice. Cool. Yeah,
But
I think it takes me about I mean probably like 45 minutes to an hour. Like,
yeah, yeah, it's definitely. I plan to keep doing it. I initially started and I wanted to try to do it for like a few weeks and do it 7 days a week just to get in the habit. And I plan to just keep that up forever because it's fun. I mean, it's like for me, the don't break the chain thing is actually kind of nice and and works for me. So I'm just gonna stick to it.
yep, got to go with those OCD. Got to make
Yep.
OCD an asset.
Yes. So I got a really cool app that I'm using for it, by the way. So it's called let me see, it's called Strides,
Oh yeah,
and it
yep,
lets you set up habits that you want to have, and it's like they're pretty configurable. So I've got one. So I've got like 5 things in here that I try to do every day. So I'm writing 3 pages in my journal, longhand, first thing, and then I copy. I'm working my way through hand copying out subject line templates, just for emails and blog posts. So I write 3 of those suckers on index cards, which takes like 3 minutes, and then I have this little visualization exercise I'm doing, and then I do my 1,000 words, and then I'm kind of like warmed up and ready to go. And it's really cool because you can see like reports and stuff on how you're doing, and get little reminders. Really liking
nice.
this.
Yeah, that's critical. I realized that I was missing like I think we talked about it like yesterday, but I've re-implemented a schedule. Like I have to work within. In fact, it's funny. The blog post, 1,000 words I was writing today, is on like turning ADHD into my superpower, like overcoming it essentially. And I have
Nice.
to like create boxes for myself and work in the boxes. So
Yep.
then I can like be totally like crazy ADHD, but in that box. So I
Mhm.
have to create rules and systems, and if I create the rules and systems, I'm like ridiculously productive. Like it becomes like it's channel energy. It's Cyclops with the visor on.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I like Ah.
Nice.
All
I
right,
love
we
that
got to get our
analogy.
editor to add the visual effects of
Yeah,
lasers and
Yeah,
yeah.
screaming loud destruction and all that when John's
That's
doing
that's
that.
a great analogy, John. You
Yes.
should totally run with that if you're not already.
And you should
yeah.
like
I'll have
actually
to.
get Cyclops eyes installed in your face so you can really do it and show people.
Yeah.
Rodrigo could totally do that.
Yes.
But I went back to like Kanban flow today. Like today's the first day I woke up at 7 a.m. and I'm like, okay, first thing I'm doing is writing, then I'm scheduling my day, or first thing I'm doing is scheduling my day, then I'm writing, then we're doing Entreprogrammers, and I'm hitting like what is the big rock, and then and I've got that planned out so that I can actually like focus. Because I realized like
Yeah.
I can actually spend like 25% of my day just switching between different stats.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I need to crack down. I've been having like for me, I've gotten bad at that again lately too because we've been having like Derek, our business was on fire this week. It wasn't so much on fire as it was just like a slow suffocation. Um, so so I've been like, and I've also been doing a lot of like we're doing right now. We're in the middle of an affiliate promotion,
mm-hmm.
and then I've been doing what else? Oh yeah, I've been doing conversion optimization on the website. So I've got like all these little projects that are all very metrics driven. So
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten really sucked back into the whole vortex of checking stats a million times a day, and
yeah.
so it's bad.
That
I
is so
need,
counterproductive.
yeah, I need to get off that. If we can get like one of the things we were talking about yesterday, me and John was I'd like to get a junior marketing person hired who could do like help us can even give us daily stats reports and go and learn thrive themes and learn how to do the pop-ups and learn how to do a lot of the busy work that I'm doing so that I can get back to just writing because that's really where I need to be what I need to be doing and now that I'm doing the 1,000 words a day thing I'm finding that my stamina for writing is increasing a lot. Like I'm probably averaging over 2,000 words a day. So
Nice.
Wow.
that's yeah, and I'd like to get that to more like three to 4,000. I read a really good blog post about this a few weeks ago where this guy was talking about how he used to write. He used to have days where he'd write like 3 or 4,000 words, and then he'd totally burn out, and he
Yeah.
couldn't write anything again for like 2 or 3 days. And that's totally how I've been. And so he said it seems perfectly obvious. He was like, yeah, creativity is just a muscle, and you have to build it up slowly, just like any other muscle. And I was like, oh, duh. Because what I had tried to do was like, all right, well, I know I can do 3,000 words in a day, so I'm just going to set a goal of doing 3,000 words in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work all that well. So I never stuck with it for more than like 2 or 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
But this is working really well, and I seem to be increasing my ability to crank stuff out. So I'm going to stick with it.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think it's critical too. Like I started to miss. I was like, man, I haven't really written in a while, and I don't want to lose that because I got good, and
Yeah.
and I have you have a different voice when you write than when
Hmm.
you create video or talk or do something else, and that voice has its own sort of character to it, and you don't. I mean, I don't know. I think it's important to do that, to have that voice as well, because it's sometimes
Yeah.
also. I think writing is really the thing that really it forces you to organize your thoughts in
Yeah.
a lot different way than anything else, and then it
Hmm.
benefits you in the other areas because I know that as I started writing more, I became better at talking and I became better
Hmm.
at just organizing thoughts on the fly, and so
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
critical.
found. Like I've been experimenting with recording some videos this week, and what I found is that it was frustrating actually because I felt like I really wasn't able to deliver a lot of content. It and it's because like when I don't know what I'm thinking about something until I write it.
Yeah.
And usually like I discover a whole bunch of stuff about what I actually think and what I'm actually doing when I'm writing it out. And if I just record a video, it ends up just being like really surface level and so for me, I actually have to. I think to do a video effectively, I'm going to need to be able to plan the video out pretty tightly, and maybe not script it word for word, but have a pretty good idea of everything I want to cover ahead of time. Because then when I'm on the fly, otherwise I just kind of like, I don't really get into it like I want to when I'm just talking.
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, it's definitely a challenge. Like you can get good at being able to just talk about it, especially if you know the subject or you've got really
Yeah.
strong thoughts on it, or if you've written about it before. But you kind of have to like choose one or the other, because if you try to kind of script a thing and then you want to talk about it, you're not going to really improvise. Maybe like
Yeah.
if you have a few points that you're going to hit, and then you're trying to hit those points. The other option for doing video is just to rely on the power of editing and cutting. So it's more
Mm.
work, but you could produce the end result. So maybe you just like spitball like 1 hour worth of content, and then you're going to cut that down into 10 minutes of hype
That's good.
stuff.
Maybe I'd get rolling versus trying to do like shorter videos. You gotta get rolling, and what I find is that for me, um, the problem is just that my brain, like when I'm just talking on the fly, my brain just abstracts the topic to this really basic level, and it's like I can't access that deeper level. It's weird. Um, but when I'm talking about a specific scenario, it's really easy,
Yeah.
which is what led me to kind of think about doing this thing with Derek that we're gonna do. So
Yep.
It's tough too. I mean, when you first do video, you're going to be awkward. Like you're not going to be
yeah,
natural on camera. It's just how it is. Like when I go back and look at my old YouTube videos, I'm like, oh my God, seriously. Like, and I was fairly quote good at that point, because
yeah,
I had been used to cameras and whatnot. But like it's just something you have to work through and then be able to
yeah,
talk to the camera like the camera's your friend. So,
yeah. I got my selfie stick here, so
there you
it's a
go.
tripod. It seems pretty
Nice.
decent. So it has a little Bluetooth remote, so I can set it up and start the video and just run with it.
Yeah.
I keep getting people telling me on YouTube, get a camera holder.
Oh, I get the
Yeah,
same
I
thing.
can send
My
you guys. I can send you guys. I mean, John has one. I think I can send you the link for this. It was only like $20.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, I need to get one of those because I sat down yesterday to record a video for YouTube, and I thought, okay, fine, I'll just use my camera on my computer, which I'm using right now. But then I realized, oh, if I do that, I got to have this stupid mic with me, and I don't want to have this gear set up while I'm trying to do a YouTube video. I was like, all right, screw it. I'll just grab my phone and do the shaky cam, and it'll be
Yeah.
screw you haters.
I actually
Did you
have.
use the rear cam?
Yeah, my Android's motion
Oh,
and anti-shaky software is pathetic. It'll make random things in the background stay in place,
oh yeah.
and the rest of it's still like shaking around.
Oh my gosh, that's
It's
awesome.
so obnoxious.
That's
You
great.
gotta like
Yeah.
touch the spot. I don't know. The
Yeah.
iPhone 6s Plus one, the hardware stabilization works really, really well.
Yeah.
This
I mean, your videos are amazingly stable compared to mine. The software stabilization in the Android is terrible.
I still get
And
crap
this
though. People still send me the same thing, and they're
Really?
like,
yeah.
like seriously, like really, that you're complaining that I'm holding the thing with my arm. Come
You're
on.
holding it wrong, John.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to have your hand over the lens and then the other hand covering the mic.
No, use the selfie stick.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. This thing's super low friction though. It literally you just grab it, pull this
Yeah.
up, slap the phone in there, and you're done. Like there's
Yeah.
no. I'm not planning on doing. At least right now, I'm not planning on doing any like mics or anything. I might get like a. You can get like a little condenser mic that plugs into the
Exactly.
jack. Actually, no, I'm not buying one of those because Apple's getting rid of the
Yeah,
we'll
1/8
see.
inch jack.
That's right.
Yeah, see,
No.
I've got this deal, and
Oh yeah, there you go.
it just has a little screw in it, so it screws up and down, and then this is a separate
Okay.
piece on top, but it's got the two condenser mics that.
Oh, nice.
you
Oh
can
nice.
point
So that's
at.
the holder for the. Oh yeah, that's the tripod for the phone as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah, it's just a regular
There you
camera tripod, and they all come with this slot at the top. So I actually have a Manfrotto light that slides in there too that
Oh,
I'm
nice.
mounting on there. So then, if it's dark outside or something, then I can just do the videos. But yeah,
I'm finding it hilarious that you probably have like a $300 phone and like a $600 tripod that you're
Yeah.
sticking it on.
no, the whole setup probably cost me what $60-70 between all three
Oh,
pieces.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Okay,
not
that's not
bad.
bad at
off
all.
Amazon, so it's not that big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a little lapel mic that plugs into I actually think it's not a bad idea. I hope they get rid of the headphone jack, honestly. Like, I know that's gonna that you're opposed to that, but it's because like it's gonna force people to make better Bluetooth. That's like, and that's the thing. It's
No,
like
it's
it'll lose.
not. The Bluetooth
I
is always gonna suck.
Bluetooth is already like good. Like, it's really not that
It's
bad.
not. It's
I've
not
got
good. It's a pain. It's a pain in the butt. Every single freaking Bluetooth. I have two Bluetooth headsets right now. This
yeah,
one that I'm using right now costs $140. It's like not cheap.
yeah.
And I have all. Still it's on trial. I'm debating whether I'm going to give it back because I keep using it and like every time I go to use it, I'm like, if it's a critical phone call and I'm going to be doing it through my computer, I'm like, do I want to do this or do I want to get my old headset? So like I don't really trust it. Like
Yeah.
I was on the phone today with Google and it was all I was 2 feet away from my laptop and the sound was all garbled. I could barely understand the lady on the other end.
Well, Bluetooth
And
doesn't work on PCs and Macs.
Bluetooth so I have another headset that I use to listen to audiobooks and podcasts on my phone and it disconnects like it disconnects. There was one that I returned because it kept disconnecting every 30 seconds, and then the one that I have now disconnects about every half hour to an hour.
Oh.
Like I've tried probably half a dozen different headsets at this point. Every single one has had problems.
See, the one I've got, well, I've got one that works perfectly, but I haven't had this much problem. I actually bought extra copies of it. So like, because I've actually
Nice.
gone through 6 of them now, and so I've got a new one and I've got a backup, but they're $20, and it's like it's perfect for running, and I don't know, I haven't had, it never disconnects, it always works perfectly.
What are you buying
It's
for $20? Because I have like a $50 or $60 set Bluetooth headset, and it's actually bone conducting and it's kind of nice. But
Aries, I
I
think.
do have a few complaints about it. My main one is that it tells you recharge battery, and then a minute later it goes ew. I'm like, so I'm driving down the road and I'm like, oh gosh.
Nice. Well,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, if you go on Amazon and type Bluetooth headset and you scan, it's 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars. Like everyone, like none of them are really stand out as being really really good.
okay,
So.
so I'll give you the one that I have. In fact, it's on the Simple Programmer Resources page. It says Aries.
Well,
Aries.
part of my thing is I actually I only want a mono one because of the laws in Pennsylvania. If I have an accident and I have
Oh, okay.
a headset on, I can only have like one ear or I'm going to get in big trouble.
Well, just
So,
pull one ear out, just like.
well, yeah, but there's no way to prove
And
that you
that's right.
didn't
There's
have.
no way to prove.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're innocent until proven guilty in this, at
I
least
don't
in
know what
this
country you
country.
live in.
Well, yeah. Oh, let's not get into that because some countries
Yeah,
not.
let's really not. Really, really.
Hey,
I do
officer.
want to say something about that subject. See, I do believe in Benjamin Disraeli's quote, like never complain or explain. But I will say that just in case it's not obvious, I do not think that all people who are Islam are jihadists. Just in case it's not obvious, that should be obvious. I don't think anyone got that confused, but I'll just go on the record of saying that, like, because I think that needs to be said. It kind of violates my don't complain or explain rule, but I feel like this is enough to warrant one one fairly decent explanation. So, and that's all I'll
I'm all
explain
for
about it.
complaining and explaining, and 100% to what you just said. That it's
Oh.
unfortunate that our conversation last week did not make that clear.
I think it did. I don't know. I mean,
I think it was a gray area that was easy to misinterpret.
I guess so. The thing is, like, if I offend someone,
You're gonna do it on
it's
purpose.
right. So, and if I did it on purpose, I'm certainly not apologizing because I intended to offend you.
Exactly.
Trump
And
that.
if I didn't intend to offend you, it's you know it, right? I mean, if I intend to offend you, you know it, and if I didn't intend to offend you, you know it. And so, if you choose to take offense when I didn't intend to offend you, and you know this, not my problem. Sorry, bud. Like again, so that's generally where I sit. But yeah, so you know, that's why I don't apologize because you either intended it or you didn't, and if you didn't intend it, it's not your fault.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but that's another discussion for another time.
People will choose to get butthurt about anything that
Of
they
course
want
they
to get
will.
butthurt, and that's their responsibility.
That doesn't mean that you're not offending people, though. I mean, good intentions
Yes,
are the
I have
path
no
to
problem
hell.
with offending people when I intend to offend people. That's all I'm saying is if I intend to offend you, why would I apologize?
No, it's a question of learning. There may be some person who you truly deeply care about, and you say something not realizing that it's a horrible thing to say. Because there are cultural differences that we don't know about. There are life experience differences that we don't know about. It's
Yeah,
not a question of, were my intentions good all the time? I think in a large case it is, were my intentions good, but there will be some cases where I say something and I realize later how terrible it was.
Okay, I've got to weigh in on this because what you said is totally true, but at the same time, there are also people out there who are looking to be offended,
Yes,
and who are
very
going
much so.
to they're going to create the situation under which they're the victim, and so for
Yes.
those people you can't worry about.
Right.
And then the people who you unintentionally offend, it's like look, I didn't recognize that was a
Right.
problem, but I see now that that's something that I should have been sensitive to. You can apologize for that.
Totally.
But, if you're out there making a point and somebody disagrees with you and they decide to be the victim, sorry.
yeah. And the thing is, like, okay, if you get me on a sound, anytime you get John Sonmez on a sound bite, you could be like, you could say he's racist, you could say he's a bigot, he's a sexist, all three of them at the same time, right? But if you are constantly following me and you know me and you've heard my conversations, you know that, well, you still might think those things are true, but if you don't already, then you know what my intent is. You know what I'm saying? It's like yes, I understand what you're saying, Derek, that you could say something and then not realize that someone could be sensitive to it. But when you look me in the eye, right, and I'm talking, and you know that I'm not trying to like purposely cause offense, and you still choose to be offended, that's your deal. That's your problem. Like you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because you got to judge, is it intentional or non-intentional, or maybe it's just a difference of it. I mean, shit, we're gonna have situations where you're going to offend people,
Hmm.
and it's damn right. That's it. We just have such a difference of opinion that it's going to be, my opinion is going to be blatantly offensive to you. Big whoop.
There's still, it's one of these topics, again, that has so much nuance to it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that, I mean, I think that the general broad strokes are true, but then it's like, oh, well, what about this edge case, and what about this other situation, and, what if this, and what if that, and, I think a certain level of common sense and a certain level of educating the people who, do or say things that offend us, and, giving people the benefit of the doubt, I think goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, but I'm not butthurt about anything. So, for anyone watching that's like, oh, is John offended by me being offended? No, I'm not offended by you being offended. It's fun. It's all cool. I still love you. We're still buds. It's all cool.
Yeah, and
So,
John, I won't tell them about the 2-hour phone call where you cried and ate a bucket of ice cream the
yeah.
other night after you got that email.
Uh, yeah. But anyway, I just thought I would just.
It's all good.
It's fun. It's fun, actually. We had fun. Actually, that was one of our more popular episodes.
It was. We got a lot of comments on it, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. I think it was really good discussion. It was also incredibly draining for me, I have to admit. I mean, for most of the rest of the day, I couldn't really think at all. I tend to do that though when I get involved in very intense, deep conversations, and I have to think on the
Yeah.
fly like that because I wasn't prepared. I had no mental preparation at all for any of that conversation, and so it was incredibly
Dude, you
draining
gotta
for me.
strap on your armor, man.
I know.
It's funny though. See, it's interesting that you say that because this is one of those points that I like why I tell people to just stay the hell off of Facebook is because
Mhm.
like emotional energy expenditure is the
Yep.
same thing as mental or physical energy expenditure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, like,
Yep.
if the very first thing that you do in the morning is you get on Facebook, and it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be offended by Facebook because you'll either like you either
Because
hate
it's
Trump or you
Facebook.
love Trump,
Yeah.
and there will be one of those things on there,
Yes.
right? And so all of this kind of like every single thing from like infanticide to
Mhm.
abortion to Trump to illegal immigration, every single possible offensive thing will be in your feed,
Yep.
guaranteed. If you have any friends, and so if you like, especially if you type responses and you're just
Oh,
reading
and,
all
and
that
here's
stuff,
here's the
right?
good part about it. If you respond to it or click on it,
Yeah,
Facebook shows you more,
more of it.
Yes.
right? So every time you're mouthing off to, Uncle Ted, who's just a complete horse's ass, guess what? You're gonna see a
Yeah.
lot more of
Uh-huh.
that. So,
But
good
just
on you.
just just doing that for 1 hour could be like you have just like it can that emotional energy can expend the same amount of effort that it might have taken you to work for 3 hours to actually
Yeah.
like do something for 3 hours, and you'll be drained and you won't feel like working because
Yep.
you have
Yep.
expended the same amount of energy. So it's best not to. My little trick is I just like as soon as someone posts something that I don't like, it's not like I'm like super sensitive. It's just that I don't want to expend emotional energy, so I'll just like hide all posts from them
Yep.
because they're a troublemaker and whatever, like
Yeah, I don't do Facebook except for my daughter's Girl Scout troop. That's it.
yeah.
I just I have family and old friends from home on there, and I don't want to see what they're posting ever.
Well, the
Yep.
thing is this isn't just applicable to don't get on Facebook first thing in the
Right.
morning. I mean, I can get into a little bit, but on Wednesday I kind of was down because I had some people who called me out on some stuff that I said I was going to deliver and failed to
Mhm.
deliver. And it's the same thing, right? I went through this emotional
Yep.
crap, and then I had to figure out how to recharge, and then I dealt with it. I actually recorded a YouTube video. I guess we can put that in the show notes. But yeah,
Totally.
it's it's that same kind of thing. We see Derek go through it every time we get an email from him that says, I did or didn't get people signing up today or this
Yeah.
week. Where it's I'm feeling really great, which is emotional energy, or I'm feeling really not great, and that's emotional energy. Or we get emails from you guys saying we didn't get as many signups as we wanted on Simple Programmer for this product or that product, and all of this stuff, all of that feedback, all of the positive and negative takes something out of you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Speaking of negative feedback, how do I do not get emails for the comments on Simple Programmer,
And Simple
and it
Programmer
sounds like,
or on?
or not. Sorry, no, I get them on Simple Programmer. I don't get them
For
for Entreprogrammers.
really,
So
I thought I had added you.
yeah, so if you could sign me up.
I'm on there as an admin, but I don't think I get the emails either. I
Huh.
get them for DevChat TV.
Yeah, I get email for every comment that gets posted on Simple Programmer, and that's what I would like for.
You
I
may
wish
have to go in
Discuss.
your settings.
I wish Discuss would let you sign up and do that, like for other
Yeah.
blogs too.
That'd be nice.
There's no way to do it. Like you can go and subscribe to every freaking thread.
Yeah. Good luck.
That's not really scalable.
No. Yeah, I'll see if I can add you. I thought I had you in there.
I'm pretty sure I'm an admin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm on there somehow, but yeah, I see it right here. Let me see if I can. We can continue. I will just.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I'm definitely getting my schedule back on. I need to, otherwise I'm just gonna be like not getting stuff done.
yes.
Feel better about it too. So
The Discuss website is
awful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I know.
They completely revamped it. I can't. I mean, I've had to click through 20 different things just to get to the dashboard where I can click through 20 more things to find the website I'm looking for. Holy
Yeah,
cow, that's ridiculous.
I really wanted to use Discuss as like a way to comment on and follow the comments on multiple websites and get involved in the communities. But there's not a dashboard where you can go and like just
Yeah.
see. What I would want is like a dashboard view that makes it kind of like Twitter, where I can just see what everyone's talking about and like jump in. And that's you have to like go and dig into individual threads, and I'm like, gosh, this is just not what I want.
Yeah. And I can't even figure out how to add you as an admin or look at who is an admin.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Well,
This
I'm
is
on
awful.
there, and it says it says I'm set up to receive emails from Discuss, but I don't know if I've gotten any from Entreprogrammers. I guess I can look.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll make a note.
Yeah, somebody else is going to have to go in there and do it because their website is garbage.
We're gonna get like you realize, you guys, that we're gonna get like 50 emails now.
Oh, that's fine.
Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong, Derek.
It's so simple. All you do is click here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here,
Yeah.
then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, and there you go. It's so easy. Why didn't you know that?
What is
Yeah,
what is on your
website
shirt? Is that
garbage.
data?
What? Yeah, it's data. It's
Nice.
a shirt from leankit.com, and it says dress up your data, and it's got data from Star Trek dressed up in different costumes. I'll stand
like
up
it.
for the camera a little more. So there's like
Wow.
data from Star Trek, and then Princess Leia data,
That one's scary.
That's
pirate
awesome.
data, clown data, spaceman data, Sherlock data.
Wow.
There we go.
Lawsuit pending.
Yeah,
Copyright
totally.
infringement lawsuit pending.
It's freaking awesome though. I love this shirt.
It's great.
Sweet.
So yeah,
So I got a
our
really
sales-
funny.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I got a really funny email today. So I'm once again making a run to get my website approved to run ads on Google AdWords. This is
luck,
like
man.
whenever I feel like I'm feeling too good about myself, I throw myself back into this meat grinder.
Yeah.
So I think I'm fairly optimistic that I'm going to be able to get this worked out this time, because
Take me back, baby. I'm
Google-
not desperate.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Google is getting the crap beat out of them right now by Facebook, and so they feel the heat. So they are actually being a lot more lenient with people that they turned their back on in the past. So yeah, so I feel like they're actually working with me this time. So I had talked a few weeks ago. I had talked to an AdWords guy that I met, named Aaron, that I met at MicroConf. And he looked at my site, and he was actually very generous with his time. He called Google for me and asked them what was wrong. And so basically they really didn't like the copy on my viral giveaways post because I talked about results. Anytime you like talk about specific numbers or results, Google sets their hair on fire. So I went in and I changed the copy on that to make it as bland and non-offensive as possible. It was like the headline was like, "Grow your email list," and then like I basically cut all the copy down to about 3 paragraphs, and I resubmitted it, and they actually appeared to have reviewed it again. I got an email this morning that they flagged me for another violation. They don't like they're flagging me as an affiliate spammer. So what I did today, I called Google, and I kept the woman on the phone, and I said, "Look, what am I doing wrong here?" And she's like, "Well, it looks like it's this page." So I had to take down my viral giveaways post completely. So I just deleted it, and I put a 301 redirect to send it to my home page.
Yeah.
So I also went through my site, and I took down turned off everything. I turned off Thrive. I deleted pages I deleted my testimonials page, or I hid my testimonials page. I hid my about page. It's basically just like as generic as I possibly could make it. without going back and like deleting a bunch of blog posts. And so my site is like super non-offensive. I'm going to leave it that way until I find out one way or the other whether Google's going to let me back into their good graces. But so today I got an email, like a few minutes ago, I got an email from a lady who was like, it was through my contact form. She was like, "Hey Josh, my boss told me to sign up for your email list because he gets your emails and he says they're really good, but I can't find a way to do that on your site. Can you add me to your email list?"
Holy crap, people!
I'm like, this
Somebody
is like
complained about not having pop-ups on your website.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
You
So
just made
yeah,
the case for the people you hate.
yeah, I know. I think
All
I'm
the
gonna.
haters out there that hate the pop-ups.
Yeah, so I got a huge kick out of that. So I'll have to do a little write-up on that. It's like
That's
when you
amazing.
know. So two signs that you know you're doing something right with your email is people email you and say, "Hey, where are the rest of the emails that you were supposed to send me?"
Uh-huh.
Which happens to us pretty frequently. It's happened to me a few times. Happens to Simple Programmer. Like people
Happens
are like
to me all the time.
on the course and they're like, "What the heck? Like, where's the rest?" And usually it's in their spam folder.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do actually get unsubscribed. So that, and then like, I forget what the other one was, but yeah, if people email you that and complain that they're not getting your emails, that's a pretty good sign.
Yes.
Well, maybe it works. Maybe those guys are right. Maybe you just take off all your opt-ins and
Yeah,
people
there you
email
go.
you to ask
Yeah, there you go.
And then
There you go.
and then they'll email you and they'll be like, I really want to buy something from you. I don't
And I'm
see
like,
you selling
no.
anything.
Nope. Yeah, well,
Could
I
I just
actually
give you
funny.
$200 and you give me something?
Yeah. Well, I have actually gotten, since I did this email sequence about courses, I've gotten at least 3 to 5 people emailing me and saying like, "Do you have a product I can buy on this?"
Nice.
So
Good
so
idea, buddy.
the demand is definitely there, and I've been getting good traction. Before I took down all my pop-ups and everything, I was getting really good traction, and my list was actually starting to grow again. Like after having been stagnated for a while, it's been starting to grow. So this morning, actually, what I spent part of my 1,000 words on is I'm going to rewrite my homepage into a landing page.
Yeah.
Brian Harris has been talking about this lately. He calls it the upside down homepage, where you have the navigation at the bottom, and the top part is like a landing page opt-in type of thing. And he's getting really good conversions on that on his site, and he's done it for like Michael Hyatt and a few other people. And so I've been kind of wanting to do that for a long time anyway. So now that I've got words to use, I burned through most of it. Well, and it was super easy because this whole like the email course stuff, whenever I start to talk about it, it just kind of writes itself. So yeah, so I think that's gonna really help, because right now my pop-ups are converting at close to 4% across my site, which is I'm thrilled with. And then I think this homepage, when I get it written, will convert at like 10 to 15%. So that will be cool. It will be easier to opt into my list then.
That's interesting. I wonder.
Yeah, John, one of my
Yeah,
messages
site.
to you was about
Yeah.
doing that to Simple Programmer.
So there's two things I noticed. So I went to his site, right? And
Mhm.
it's like, or wait, well, if you go to, that's weird. I don't. If you actually like, if you're on blog.videofruit.com and you click his Video Fruit logo,
Mhm.
it does take you to blog.videofruit.com. But if you click
Oh,
his start
interesting.
here, I'm guessing it takes you right to the home. No, it takes you to the about. So once you get to the blog, you're not getting back to that
Huh.
homepage. The formulas button, maybe that takes you. I mean, if you just go to videofruit.com, you get to
Yeah.
the thing. So the thing is, like, okay, so right off the bat, just based on that, if he's saying that he's getting like, what did you say, 12 to 15%
Well,
opt-in?
yeah, I was gonna.
Those are
Yeah.
people
So,
typing videofruit.com or searching for videofruit.com.
or
So
clicking referral links.
yeah, so that
So.
makes like I don't know. I'm not convinced
Mm.
by like if
Well,
from
okay, but John,
if that's
our pop-up on the homepage is converting at 4% right now.
exactly. So I
So
don't think we're gonna get a bump,
I
but
do. I actually do. Like it is pretty normal for a landing page, like a well-written landing page, to get a 10 to 20% conversion rate. That is pretty normal.
Okay. But you're looking at just conversion. Think about it this way, right? There's a reason, well, and I could be wrong here, but the reason why I have the simpleprogrammer.com page the way it is
Yep.
because it's a ton of articles, right? Like if you look
Right.
at that, something is going to catch your eye. It's like an infinite scroll of articles. And
Well,
if something catches your eye, you're going to start reading, right? And if you start reading on the site, you're eventually,
yeah.
if you're going to convert, you're going to convert.
But think about this for a minute.
No, okay, no, but
With the infinite scroll that you have, it's going to be really challenging to get your name into that email address input at the very bottom. So if you have to scroll all the way down to find navigation and put your name into that thing.
well, we know what we
Yeah.
no. If I did this, what I would do would be turn the above the fold would be a call to action to
Yeah.
sign up for one of our email courses, and then the rest of the page would be social proof and selling you on opting into the email course that I offered you at the top. And then the call to action at the bottom would be another call to action to opt into the email course that I offered you at the top. And then below
Yeah.
that would be navigation. That's the formula. And I think what we should do is we should put Hotjar
Yes. Yeah.
on the homepage.
Hotjar is a hot freaking dumpster fire.
Dang, the guy that's so concerned about offending people just
I know.
like, you know,
I am
I
very
don't know,
purposely
Derek.
choosing
I
to
don't know.
offend
You've
Hotjar.
offended people now who live in dumpsters.
I do.
Yeah.
I have.
But no, we could put Hotjar on the homepage and then just look and see how many people are clicking on the different links, because I don't know. It's one of those situations where there's so many calls to action there that people are pretty likely to just bail. I would not be surprised to find that only a single digit percentage of people ever click on anything on the homepage. I would not be surprised.
Okay.
And
I mean, we can test
and
it.
think
We
about
can
it this way
test
too. If you've clicked, all right, so if you hit, like, say you hit the developer podcast list, right? And then you don't opt in. You close the pop-up because you're like, get out of my face. So
Right.
you close the pop-up. Then you decide, I'm going to go to the homepage. Well, okay, now you've got, boom, this like visual overload, and it doesn't really tell you what Simple Programmer is. Like, we don't have any place where we really explain what Simple Programmer is, or what we're all about. So bam, we hit you with like all this content, and then we're not going to show you a pop-up again for 7 days. So unless people come back, unless they like it so much that they bookmark it or something, and they come back, then they're probably never going to see another pop-up.
Yeah,
And
but
that's a really common scenario.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, but like well, I mean, we can look in the analytics on the live analytics. If you turn on, do you have the analytics Chrome extension?
I do not.
You can turn that on, and then so you can basically look and see what the hot spots are on the page, like what percentage
Yeah.
of people are clicking things.
Yeah, we could pretty easily see how many people are going to a specific. We could look at one of the blog posts that's on the top now and see how many people are coming from the homepage. And I would I'd be willing to bet that, like, if we get 3,000 hits on a blog post, that probably a couple hundred at most are coming from the homepage.
Okay, so on the homepage, take a guess what you think the bounce rate is on just the homepage.
60 to 75%.
46.71%.
Okay.
So
that's good.
The site average is 75.27. So the homepage, if you go to the homepage, there's more than a 50% chance that you're going to click an article. That's why it's that way, right? Like, I mean, again, I'd like to test it, because I mean, what you're saying, I would love for it to be true. I would love to believe it's true. I just don't think that it is going to turn out that way. I think that, I mean, just looking, from what I've tested in the past, having a ton of articles on there, because it's like there's so many things that something is likely to catch your attention. I think that works better.
Yeah, I guess I'm biased because whenever I and I think a lot of people are this way, not everybody, but when I see that, I don't look at anything.
Yeah, but if it's something that you're interested in, like, I don't know, then, but I could be wrong. I mean, we could test it. We could see. We could create a version of the homepage that has that is geared towards the opt-in, or where you said like exactly how you want to try it, and we could A/B test it and see
Well,
what.
what I would say to do would be, I think the way I would want to test it would be to just cut over to it for a week, and
Yeah.
then measure our measure our page views and our bounce rate and also and weigh that against whatever the email
But a week
capture
isn't
looks
a
like.
week isn't long enough. You
It's
need
Well,
well we get like that page gets like several like 20,000 page views a month or something.
yeah.
So
How many of those are return visitors though?
I think about we have so our users is somewhere around 70,000, and then our page views is usually around 130, 140. So it's like maybe 30-40%
Right.
return traffic,
So
something
you're
like
going
that.
to get a 30 to 40% bump for that first week then, for the first couple of weeks maybe.
because
Because
people will
people are
sign
going
up
to
that
see,
are already.
yeah, people that are used to the homepage are going to see change, and change
Well,
immediately drives people to do something different.
what I
That's not
yeah, that's
necessarily
true. But
bad though, because you could.
what I would be mostly measuring would be, yeah, you're right. That will artificially inflate the number of email signups, but it will not affect the. We'll still be able to see the overall effect on page views and like, are people? Is
There's
it like killing? Is it is it killing traffic to the rest of the site?
I
you're
mean,
going to
we
That's
could
have to
like
run it
run
for
it.
a
You're going to
month.
have to run it for a month.
We could run it for a month.
Yeah.
There's not like we're not going to hurt ourselves by
would
running
make
it
more
for a
money.
month.
Yeah. No,
So,
you need to run it for a month just to get
Yeah, that's
legitimate
true.
data after that cooldown period of the change.
Yeah, I mean, we could run it for a month. It's not like we're doing something drastic that's going to
Right.
hurt
Yeah.
us. Like we're still getting opt-ins. We're still,
Right.
but
Well, it would help us. I mean, it would help us short term anyway in terms of
Yeah.
revenue. Like we'd make more money doing that. The question is whether long term it helps us more to have people viewing more pages on the site. I'm still of the opinion that I'd much rather have somebody. I'd rather have 5% more people opt into the email list so that we can continue to send them to new blog posts every single week versus having somebody click to another article and then leave.
yeah, but see, here's the thing. This is where I don't know if that's the case. I don't think you're necessarily getting more emails because what I'm saying here is if the bounce rate is below 50% on the homepage, what that means is that anyone who
Right.
goes on the homepage is likely to click another article. Now they've got at least two page views. It's probably three because they probably came from an article, went to the homepage, and went to another page. And at that point, like the chances of them sticking or of
Well, but
them
okay. See,
of them eventually signing up are high.
well, not really, because there's no mechanism. There's no such thing as sticking to a website. Like I mean, until you have some kind of handle on and you can get back in front of people. People like if people see 3 pages on your website, that's not any more likely to make them come back. If they go click click click, they're not any more likely to come back than some random person just coming in from Google. I mean, there's no handle to get like if unless they follow you on social media or opt into your email list or subscribe via RSS or something, or
Right.
you target them with retargeting. That is one thing. But like for somebody to view 3 pages on your website, they're not going to think about you tomorrow and come back.
We're showing them more opt-ins though on other pages, so that's what I'm saying.
But we don't though because like once you get cookied, you don't see an opt-in again for 7 or 14 days.
Yeah,
And
but well,
our
you
conversion
still
rates
see
on
the
the
bottom
blog
of the
post,
page opt-ins.
the conversion rates, yeah, that's true. But the conversion rates on the blog post are so low. They're like on average they're like 0.3%.
Yeah.
So virtually no one opts in from the blog post except for the ones that I have done the content upgrades on.
Well, there's two.
So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In the long run, I'm not sure. Maybe. Well, I mean, we can test it. We can see what happens. Like,
yeah,
and see.
the see the what I like about, I mean, the reason I say go for the email address is because you can get a lot. Like if we had an extra 10,000 people on the email list, that's a lot of traffic, right? That you can continue to drive. That you can continue to drive back. Like I'm finding this with my list, with my blog. I'm not in the habit of sending out links to blog posts, but I did that on Saturday, and I had the biggest traffic week that I've had in a long, long time. And I had somebody else pick up my article, that pop-up article. I had it picked up and republished
Yeah.
by another site. So it's just yeah. I mean, like I think the more sacrificing page views for emails in the
Oh, I'm
short term
all.
makes a lot of sense because you can
Yeah.
continue to get more page views. Like emails drive page views, drive shares,
Yeah.
but page views don't really do anything by themselves.
I'm all for sacrificing page views for emails. I'm not 100% convinced that's what we're doing. I think
Yeah.
because the real metric, what you want to do is you want to track unique visitors to
Yep.
email address,
Yep.
to
Which
email
Thrive
sign
does nicely.
both, and you want to track it over time. So like
Right.
over a long enough period of time, because the thing is like you don't when you just look at like someone came to the page, did they conversion rate, you're not getting the full picture because there's going to be a whole group of people potentially that are not going to convert on a single page, that might convert on several pages down,
Right.
and some that might convert a
Right.
month later, and it's because they found the content. Or there's even, I mean, to some degree, the whole brand. But the thing is, okay, I'll throw out the brand part, the long term, because if you get their email address, then you're gonna be able to
Yeah.
build the brand with them. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's definitely it's worth experimenting with. If you could tell me, John, hey, we're going to get less page views, we're going to get more email addresses, I'm 100% on board with that because I know
Yeah.
that the email address
Well,
can convert to page
it'll
view.
be, yeah, if we did it for a month, it would be really easy to know. I mean, I would expect to see an additional like 500 to 1,000 email signups come in. It
Yeah.
should like increase our if it's going to work, it should be a significant bump. Like we should go from 2,000 emails a month to 3,000.
So two ideas here actually. I
Okay.
think one of them's gold. Well, I think they're both gold.
Okay.
So I'm looking at Brian's site real quick, right? I
Right.
did notice something. He does have that, and I've seen this on Neil Patel's site too. He put up that thing as soon as I went to his blog. There was this little pop-up like yes, no message box that said Video Fruit would like to send you push notifications when a new article
Yep.
goes live.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that too.
I don't see any reason to not do that. That makes a lot of sense because then if you're doing that, if someone you know signs up for that, you're gonna get a lot more page
Yeah.
views, right? You're gonna re-engage them. So that's a way to re-engage. Like
Although,
if someone
yeah.
views 2 or 3 pages, they might do that and not give their email address.
Yep.
And then the second one is what if like talking about the retargeting, right? And
Yep.
then and taking a play from the whole anti pop-ups, like people will just love me if I don't content gate my
Right.
stuff. What if we did give in to them? What if we did this? What if we said, okay, no pop-ups on the site and no sidebar, none of that. Just as much content as you can eat. Just trying to get people to page view as much as possible. Just good
Right.
stuff, right? And we retarget. We put retargeting pixels all over, right, on every page.
Yep.
And then we advertise to those people who we have basically shown no pop-ups. But when we advertise to them, what we do is we send them content, but that link, and Thrive allows you to do this, that link will have a pop-up. So the
Well,
first time they
okay.
went to the site, they got no pop-ups, they've used as many pages as they want, it
Right.
never showed up, right? But then when we retarget them and send them back to the site, then the pop-up shows up when they come back through that special link.
The only problem with that is that Google and Facebook will ban you because they specifically don't want pop-ups.
Well,
So,
no, opt-in, you're not going to get banned for regular opt-ins. You see that all the time.
uh, what do you mean? I mean, if your landing page from your ad on
Mhm.
Facebook or Google has a pop-up on it, they're going to come down on you.
I don't think so. Not if it's a
No,
content
they will.
article.
Yeah,
It's
they
just like
will.
any linked content article. I mean, I'm looking right now on Facebook, but I'm sure I've encountered these all over the place.
They will. I mean, they don't. Yeah, but you have, but not on. I don't. Not. You've probably seen organic stuff, not ads. But I mean, I like where you're going with it. Hang on. I'm making a note about the push notifications thing.
I mean, if that worked, let's say, suppose that you could do that,
Yeah.
then
So
that would probably make sense, right?
here's what I'm thinking. So for and Derek, I actually think this makes a lot of sense for what you're doing too, potentially. Um, so for I want to do. I want to take our learning. I'm going to do an experiment where I take our 5 learning mistakes email course and turn it into um, a retargeting funnel where I basically, so somebody comes to the site, we pixel them, and then I follow them around the internet, offering them what's basically content. So they come to, it'll be the learning course, but it'll be on a web page. They'll click on it, and then there's going to be links to go to all 5 lessons, and they can click through. Wherever they stop, I'll know that, so I can pick up the retargeting where they left off, and I can start to offer them the next option. And they can also opt. I'll give them a button where they can opt in to get the whole email series. And I think that like because we know that funnel converts already. We know those emails convert, and I think that we'd have to pay more, so our profit would be lower. But I think that we could make that convert profitably. So basically, take the exact same content that we know is work. The only difference really is that it's a little bit less of a controlled environment because I'm not in somebody's inbox, but I'm using all the same content and just presenting it on the web page.
I'd really love to see if that works. That is just it's so far out of the box for me that my brain's just kind of going,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, the problem with using content generally is that you don't have a way to follow up with people, but retargeting fixes that. And what most people do with retargeting is they chase people around and say, hey, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So people ignore it. But, I think this has a pretty good chance of working. We want to do something like this with YouTube, but right now I'm thinking I've already got all this content. It's basically ready to go. I just have to spend a couple of hours and load it into WordPress and set up Google. And I would do this so this would be on the Google Display Network, so it would be banner ads, not search ads, because nobody's going to search for the stuff that we're selling here.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to try this on my site. This is why I'm trying to get my site unbanned.
What
I
do
want
you
to play with
for
this.
retargeting?
What's that?
Is this just something that Google Ads does for retargeting, or?
Yeah, Google allows you to retarget people through Google Analytics.
Okay.
So it's not any platform. There's platforms out there like
Perfect Audience.
and stuff, but yeah, they're an abstraction layer over the native Google and Facebook ads, and they kind of suck. They take away all the power features. You just get the lowest common. Basically, you would use the Perfect Audience if you wanted to just run an image banner that just said "Buy my crap."
Yeah.
That's pretty much all they're good for.
Gotcha.
So
take a
what are
look
you
at some of
sending?
those links that I put in
What
there.
are you
Those
sending
are all
us, John?
Facebook ads. Those are where the Facebook ads take you.
Yeah. Right. Well, this is
They're
not. But
all
there's no pop-up on this.
Well, but they're all
This is.
opt-ins.
Yeah, you
One
can
of them
send
is
people to.
purely an email address page where
You can
you're
send
just
people to
signing up.
opt-ins. You can send people to opt-ins with ads. The problem is that we're in a little bit of a gray area where the stuff that we're going to be talking about is going to be stuff that people at Facebook are going to. We're going to start to look an awful lot like the make money online crowd that they hate. Like if you're anywhere even remotely close to that, then you're like in grave danger when it comes to asking for stuff for opt-ins on Facebook or Google.
Yeah.
And since we're gonna, I mean, if we're gonna make, even like say something like increase your income, that puts us into that danger category.
Because of the
So
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I've been banned, man. Trust me on this, okay? I've
yeah,
done
but
everything.
we've got it'd be going to a regular site that has top navigation. That I mean, it's the simple programmer
Well, so was
site
my
with the advertising
the
content.
ad that got me banned on Facebook was content. Like I wasn't even I still don't even really know what I think they might have banned me because I had a picture of Jimmy Wales. I don't even know why they banned me for that. But
Yeah, we could have like a 10-second delay, or we could have it when you visit the second page on there, or
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking with this with the approach that I'm suggesting would be you could get it on the second. You could put more opt-in stuff on the second page and not on the first page.
yeah. I mean, we'd be paying. I guess the downside is like if you just did the retargeting, you'd be paying for all of your opt-ins because you'd have to.
Yes. Well, and
Or
I don't think we should. Yeah, I don't think we should take down the pop-ups. Unfortunately, it's just. I mean, we're getting like 60 to 80 signups a day with the
yeah.
pop-ups. Like you can't walk away from
Yeah.
that. And
Well, I
it'll get
mean,
better. Like I think I can double that if I get 5 more content upgrades in place.
yeah. I'm just
So
thinking like if you did the. Well, I guess you still have like if you did the retargeting only, how many more page views would you get without any pop-ups?
Even if
You
it
you
could
would.
essentially
even if
double
you did the
traffic in 6
retargeting,
months.
if you switch solely to retargeting as your primary driver for getting people into things, you'd still need to have a pop-up in there because of people like me with ad blockers.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you would have
Yeah,
the
it's true.
pop-up when they come in through the retarget, only through the retarget.
No,
But that's what you can't do.
you would need a smarter system than that because I'm not going to let you retarget me. I have ad blockers and cookie blockers, Privacy Badger, that prevents you from tracking me, so you'll never be able to retarget me.
But
So
most
you'll
people,
need to have a smart enough setup.
Which also probably means that you are gonna get
never.
hit with pop-ups every single time because are you blocking
Exactly.
cookies too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's what you have to do.
Right.
If you note somebody has the ad block installed or the privacy badger or whatever, and they are not going to allow your cookie, then you have to hit them with the pop-up for the email address. The one that pisses me off is places like Wired.com, where they complain about the ad blocker, but then they do it in a way that basically says you suck, our ads are our revenue, and then buried inside of this "We hate you" message is the option to pay $1 to not have to not have ads. Well, that doesn't do me any good because screw you, I'm not going to let you track me. But I
Right.
can't even see the frickin' message where you'll let me pay $1 to read the article because you buried it in the "I hate you" message so deeply. So and instead of doing the "we hate you because you use an ad blocker," if you just switched to, hey, sign up for our email address for our mailing list and get email with new articles, just flat out switch it. Don't complain about ad blockers and privacy blockers and all that kind of stuff. Just switch it to the standard pop-up and be
Right.
done with it.
Yeah. On the pop-up thing, I was thinking about it more this week because that article did really well last week for me. And the one thing that I really can't stand, like to me, I will never really be offended by anybody popping something up and asking for my email address. I can't stand when they pop up regular ads and force me to
Yeah,
sit through a video ad. Like
exactly.
that's just
Yep.
obnoxious. And I think actually a lot of the blowback against pop-ups is intensified by that, because that's not like, I mean, you're just like using, at that point you don't want to build a relationship with me, you're just using my eyeballs.
Yes.
Right. Well, and also like it's so like with the Wired thing, how stupid are you that you can't make money some other way than showing
Yeah.
display ads? Like
Yeah.
you've got a big site with millions of people visiting
Hmm.
it, and you're your best way to monetize it is display ads? Are you
Yeah.
Yeah.
serious? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
Seriously.
those companies are going to die eventually because
Yes, they
that's
are.
just stupidity. Like
They already are.
there's so many other ways to make money. Like,
Yeah,
They're already dying. Like
the
the
whole complaint about using an ad blocker is a company dying and gasping for breath and begging you to let them hang on to the old way that they've been doing things. I mean, yeah, I have content marketing advertisements within my blog all over the place, but it's not ad networks. It's not your typical ads. It's a better approach because it gets people in to read content and they
right.
get the content. They don't have to put their email address in to read the content. If they do, they're going to end up on my mailing list and get the sales pitch. But that more than pays for itself. I don't need stupid display ads, and I don't need to complain about ad
Mhm.
blockers and pop-up blockers because it's not relevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, display ads are the absolute tail end of the 80/20 curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't figure out a way to do anything with this traffic, so you're going to make a tenth of a penny off of me.
hmm
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But yeah, I don't know. I
So
mean, there's definitely we could test it. I think we should test it and try it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of other ways to that because there's got to be
yeah,
some. We've got a lot of tools at our
yeah.
disposal
Well, I
now.
don't think I don't think that the pop-ups hurt the bounce rate all that much. It would be interesting to test that. Just
Well,
turn them on. I don't think they hurt the bounce rate very much. Because I've done experiments on my site where I had them and didn't, and I haven't seen any difference in user behavior based off of that.
really? And
Yeah, I really haven't. I mean, you're gonna get complaints, but I bet you if we turned off our pop-ups, our bounce rate would change by 1 or 2%, and we would probably get maybe a little tiny bit more traffic, but probably also long tail we'd get less traffic because we wouldn't have as many people on our email list that we could continue to send the content to and send them back to the website. So like, you'd get a little bit more, maybe a little bit more sharing, but a lot less continual, repeatable traffic from your audience.
yeah, I don't know. I have to. I mean, I think you get more traffic overall. I think like in 6 months you might be able to double the traffic, just because like things like
Yeah,
for
I
example,
don't
just
think
today
so.
looking at the site stats, we got Hacker News, but we got shut down real quick, right? So I mean, again, we
Yeah,
talked about tailoring it specifically. Like if we get Reddit or Hacker News traffic, we should not show
yeah.
pop-ups at least for some period of time
If
because
Thrive
you get shut down.
Thrive needs to let us like exclude, set up rules like SumoMe. That's the one thing that SumoMe just totally rocks on is you can set up rules for domain like incoming traffic.
Yeah.
So we could
Yeah.
set it up so that everybody that came in from Hacker News would not and Reddit would not see a pop-up.
And what we want
Put
to
in a
do, I mean,
feature request.
ideally, what's that?
What's
I
that?
said put in a feature request. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
guarantee they'll do it anytime soon, but at least let them know.
There is
We
a
can make
Yeah.
guarantee that they won't do it because they never respond to feature
Yeah,
requests.
yeah,
I
Oh.
that's
do.
what.
No, I've got the tap in. Josh and I can get them to do to fix bugs now. We went through the pain
Yeah,
of we went through their whole slap you around and you're not really serious thing like 3 or 4 times each of us where we're like, okay, here's the WordPress login credentials and here's the duplication of like we did
yeah.
this 3 or 4 times and then they relented and fixed the bugs and now when we submit stuff they take it seriously. So we
I
might
also
be able to.
I also met with Perry's project manager this week and showed her Thrive,
Yeah,
and she loved it, and they're probably going to start using it over there. So that could be a little ally that we could,
yeah,
little
use
leverage
that
that we
little
could
card.
exert there. Yeah,
But
I'm
we could
working
also get
on
it.
setting that up right now on devchat.tv to replace SumoMe.
yeah.
I mean, we could also do custom development potentially on it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do that kind of work. You check the refer, and if it is, you redirect to the same page without the URL parameters, or sorry, with the URL parameters
Oh.
to tell Thrive not to use the pop-ups.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, we could probably do that with like a simple HTTP conf or whatever that file is, like
Oh yeah, we
HTTP
could
rewrite.
Right. Yeah.
prompt to
We
do
should.
Hmm.
that.
Oh man, I'm making a note about that. That's a great idea. That would, assuming that the are the URL parameters consistent?
Yes.
Are they easy to? Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I use that for my email template in Drip. There's like three URL parameters, two or three URL parameters that you'll get out of the smart links setup in Thrive. Just
mhm.
copy the URL parameters, and you can paste those onto the end of any URL on your site to prevent
Oh,
the pop-ups.
okay. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll totally do that.
So version one of my like request would be to just shut it off for those traffic sources.
Mhm.
Like version two would be to shut it off until the page has so many page views, at which point turn it back on. So that like
Mhm.
because you want to get once it gets momentum in Hacker News or Reddit, then it's more likely like you're going to slow it down with the pop-ups. But if you hit like a critical mass, then you're going to get a bunch of page
Yeah.
views. So to do that, and then like level three would be to actually figure out the velocity. And so like at the optimal time, so what you want to do is while the velocity of page views is going up and up and up, you don't want to show pop-ups, but as soon as the velocity drops and is on the down curve, then you want to turn the pop-ups on so that you're maximizing the amount of because you've
Mhm.
already hit the peak of Hacker News or Reddit. You're not going to get upvoted anymore. You're not going to get more traffic. So now that it's there, let's maximize our
Right.
pop-up
Well,
exposure.
and the nice thing about what the Hacker News spikes are kind of nice, but they also kind of suck because that traffic tends to be just really really bad. But a lot of those people will be people that we could retarget.
Well, it depends
So
on.
that
Okay, look at the
a lot of
conversion
them
rate
have ad
today.
blockers, but a lot of them would be people that we could retarget. So
It
Yeah, but
depends on the content. Look at the conversion rate today for simple programmer.
the other thing to keep
it's
in mind
good.
is even if the traffic doesn't convert well, there are systems on the internet that build or that look specifically at momentum, and
Yep,
so
and
you'll get helped in other ways.
you get a lot of link backs. But right now we're sitting
Well,
at 2.73% conversion rate on
yeah, but
simple
that's because
programmer.
our traffic, John. That's because our traffic has been so low today. We're only at 1,300 page views for the
But look at the
day.
tra look
Which
at the traffic source.
are we getting Hacker News traffic?
Hacker News and Reddit traffic primarily.
Well, that's we're not getting much then because that's really really low.
Not a lot, not a lot, but those are the primary referrers. Well, Hacker News is a primary referrer, and then Reddit's like number five.
Yeah, but I can
So
tell. I'll tell you if it's actually if those are the people that are converting.
how
Because
will you know if
what
those?
I've observed is that the days when we get a lot of traffic from those
Uh,
sites are
where's converting?
it tanks bad. Like our conversion rate tanks bad.
But it's because of the article. It's because it's the Joel test article. That's why it's converting high.
Okay.
At least that's my
Um,
theory, but I don't know. There's so much, so many theories. But anyway, it would be nice to be able to like to be able to.
I see one conversion. No, that's not true. There's two, three. Yeah, you're right. Some of this is converting. I see three conversions for today from the Reddit. No, five, six. Yeah, you're right. That traffic is converting.
Yeah, if you look at the Joel test page, like that's probably what. If you look at the lead reports,
That's in our top 10. So we need to have a content upgrade for
specific.
that,
Yeah,
and it
that would
would
be an
be
easy one. Yeah, you
yep.
could
We
check
could
that.
convert that page. We could probably convert it 5 to 10% with a content upgrade.
But we got killed on that. It should have done better, but I think the pop-ups, that's where it's like you wanted to have that, let the momentum go and then start showing the pop-ups.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I mean, we haven't had really like stuff take off from Hacker News or Reddit since we've had pop-ups.
Yeah, but we also haven't had stuff take off. I would argue that's probably because you're not writing the content.
That may have
So,
something to do with it too.
I mean, all of our viral posts have been stuff that you've written. So,
True.
and you did. I think you did have stuff take off when you were writing content, even when you had pop-ups.
I don't know. I mean, I, I'm not sure. I also had the ability to turn them off at one point from Hacker News sources when I was using like,
Oh yeah, that Pippity or whatever.
yeah, and
The
I was
monster.
doing that. So because
Yep.
I was suspecting that that was the case. I don't know. It's worth trying to figure out something there because I think that there's definitely a benefit to getting that kind of traffic.
Yep. So our business was on fire this week.
What'd you do?
It still is
Well,
technically, right?
well, it was looking okay. Yeah, today has not
On
been
fire
good.
as in burning down, or on
As
fire as
in,
in yeah?
as in burning down. Well, it wasn't really burning down. It was more like this slow. So basically, starting about on like May 4th or so, sales just completely tanked. Nothing. Like virtually nothing. We went from averaging 3, 5, 7 sales a day across the different products to like 0. And we could not, like I spent part of Monday doing like a top to bottom review of our whole funnel and trying to figure out what the heck was going on, because like we have, I mean, typically the blogging course workbook is $5. It sells like 2 to 3 copies a day, pretty much just like clockwork.
Yeah.
The how to market yourself, well, 10 steps typically sells 1 or 2 copies a day, and sometimes more. And then 10 steps, or how to market yourself, before the new sales page was selling like 3 or 4 a week, and then after the sales page we were like having days where we'd sell like 4 or 5, and so it was like the conversion rate on that basically tripled for about a week, and then like nothing.
Yeah.
And so John and I were pretty freaked out. I was like, all right, well, how do I, like, if I need to spin up my freelancing business again, like, is this really going to work out? And so it was like we had talked about it for like an hour and a half the other day, and we could not figure out what was going on. And near as I can tell, it seems like what happened was we had this perfect storm of like 5 to 7 different factors that all converged at the same time. So we had we turned on SSL for the whole site, which in theory should help us with Google eventually. In the short term, we had major problems with it completely goofed up the pop-ups and the sales page. So the sales page, because they're both Thrive based, we had this issue where the images, and Derek, somebody tweeted about it. I think you saw it. Like the sales page images were all getting squished
Oh, that's
down.
right. Yeah, I did see that.
Well, that was due to the Nginx module that we had installed, and I think we were getting like SSL warnings on the sales page, which is exactly what you want when someone's
Yes,
thinking
exactly.
about giving you $300. You want like warnings flashing in their face, and then the images being squished made the whole thing look like completely shady.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally figured that out, that was a problem on Tuesday, fixed it, and then we got boom, boom, boom. We started getting some sales in for that. So then with the blogging course workbook, the $5 thing, we had done an affiliate offer a couple days, about 2 weeks ago, where we gave away a whole bunch of copies of it. So I think that like killed the demand for that for a couple of weeks. And then 10 steps, I did this thing where I imported our entire list into the Plinko machine at the beginning of April. So they're all going. We have 5,000 people going through the blogging course right now,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody going
Wow.
through 10 steps because that comes later down in the Plinko machine. So like we drained all the traffic away from 10 steps, and so that's fallen off. And I also think that there's probably some kind of weird seasonal thing going on.
Which is what we say every time our sales drop.
Yeah, exactly.
That's because
But-
it is a weird seasonal thing, right?
Well,
Yes.
okay, when you have something that's converting like clockwork for
Mhm.
3 months or 5 months, and then for a week,
Yeah.
like nothing, it completely dies, and then it just comes back on its own. Like, I mean, really, how do you, like, I don't know. How do you troubleshoot that? So traffic is definitely down to the sales page a little bit. But actually, I was seeing a lot of people adding it to cart and then just not clicking the buy button. So I don't know. Like, it's weird, very, very weird. But yeah, the day before yesterday, so Wednesday and Thursday, things picked up again, and we had 2 really good days. So far today has been nothing, so I'm a little starting to
Yeah,
get
I
nervous
don't know what's
again.
going on today. Like,
Yeah.
this is
They're all
weird.
coming to devchat.tv because I just pulled up Google Analytics, and from the day before yesterday to yesterday, it's
Oh, nice.
yeah, I have no idea. I'm not very proficient with Google Analytics, and I can't figure out what page they're going to or pages they're going to.
No one really is, Chuck. That's the
No one
dirty little
is.
secret of Google Analytics. No, if you go
You actually can't do anything in Google Analytics. They just make you think that you can, so that you keep trying.
I think I can.
Yes.
I think I can.
Yeah.
I think I can.
It took me. I finally think I have the funnel visualization working correctly for how to market yourself. But it seriously took me. It took me like probably about 6 weeks of trying different things. It's frustrating because with Google Analytics, everything is. You can't go back in time. Like it's not.
Yeah.
For some reason, they don't capture data, historical data
Yeah.
in some cases, and so you have to wait. Like for the conversion data, you have to wait for sales to come in. Well, gosh, that page we were only selling a few copies a week, so that's like, a month before I know if the thing's actually working.
Yep. Ooh, I might have figured it out. Anyway.
So, but yeah, that's been our tale of woe this week. Hopefully things are turning around. It looks like we were having a lot, like our email capture last week went in the toilet because I think we were having a lot of SSL related problems. Like the pop-ups were triggering mixed content warnings in the browsers. So we got that resolved finally, and I think our opt-ins yesterday were back up to where they should be. So, ay.
Yeah, I still don't get it, like what's happening today and whatnot. Like, it's still not. It still doesn't seem
Yeah.
like it's quite where it's supposed to be. But
Yeah, well, that's okay. So our big days for how to market yourself are Saturday and Thursday, and then 10 steps that problem is going to continue because we don't have a lot of people going through that email course right now. So
yeah,
that's just kind of I think sales on 10 steps are going to be a little bit low for a while.
yeah, we'll see.
But-
I guess we'll see what happens. That's the other thing is like you need the right freak out point, and
Yeah.
on a daily basis, it's definitely not the freak out point, and it's probably not in a 3 day.
Yeah.
It's probably honestly like at the month level that you really need to like.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I'm glad. Like, I freaked out around the 1 week mark, and
Yeah.
that was about. We found several issues that we fixed that seemed to have helped. So, for me, it's like I agree. Like, I actually wrote in my email this morning about it because it's like I every time this happens, I think, all right, I am officially inoculated against this. I'm never going to get emotionally. I'm never going to let this get to me again. It's not going to get me down anymore. And then the next wave is just bigger. And the waves just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. We'll see.
You need to record a video where you say, I failed.
And just leave it at that.
I did that. I did that on Wednesday. I recorded a video that said, I failed. and I told people why I had failed, and then it was funny because I got about 2/3 the way through it, and I'm like, but I can fix it.
So was this about the Kickstarter thing? Is that what?
Yeah, because I still failed to put it up, so that's what I'm kind of doing right now. It turned out to be a little more work than I anticipated because I moved everything over to WordPress, and that kind of
Oh,
threw a
right.
wrench into all that stuff. So yeah, so I failed on that, and then I had promised people 10 ways to get noticed for get a coder job, and I hadn't delivered that, so I finished that on Wednesday because I'm like, I'm just going to get it done. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be done.
Yeah.
So I got it
Had you
done.
taken money for that, or is that just like a
No.
opt-in bribe type of thing?
Yeah, it was an opt-in bribe. But
Okay.
then I also realized that I have a client from last year that paid me that I never delivered for.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
So
Ouch.
I was like, crap. I was looking back through stuff, and it just kind of all hit at once, and I was like, I never
Well,
delivered
gosh,
that.
if they didn't notice for a year,
A year and a half, actually.
a year,
Um,
there's
so,
some blame to go around in that situation.
fair enough, but I'm going to reach out and say, hey, so you paid me $2,000, and I don't think giving you $2,000 back is necessarily, I probably set your business back a little bit, on your timeline. But just talk to him and see how things work. The thing is he's
Yeah.
like a super nice guy,
Uh,
and I'm afraid that he's going to let me live with my guilt by saying, not to make me feel bad, but basically he's going to say,
that is the ultimate
"Don't worry
punishment.
about it," and I'm
You
going to
know?
be like, "No, I can't not make this right," and then he's going to be like, "No, seriously, just don't worry about it," and then I'm going to feel terrible.
Well, you think he's gonna say, "Don't worry about it, keep the 2K"? Is that what you're
He
saying?
might.
Oh, yeah. I'd probably just give him back the 2K and not do the project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's gonna be your best bet, I think.
probably. I just feel bad about any
Or
timelines
Yeah.
or
missed.
you can say, "Hey, would you rather use the 2K in a different way, like some consulting
That's what
or
I was gonna
coaching
say.
hours, like
There
coaching?"
might,
Yeah.
given that he did that project a year and a half ago, and he hasn't had an urgent need for it, obviously, there might be something else you could help him with that would be less work for you and a lot more valuable for him now. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
possibly. The other thing that I've thought of is that I know somebody who's proficient enough to actually do the job, and
Hmm.
so I could pay this person $2,000 to just do it if he
Hmm.
never got it done, and then just be really nice to make up for the time difference. But yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Well,
I don't
it's
know if
that
I
and the
would do
Kickstarter
that.
basically at this point. What?
I said I don't know if I would do that because like you could I would I'd it'd be better off if you just referred him to that person and said, "Here's your 2 grand back. This guy will probably do it for 2 grand or
Yeah,
less
that's
or something."
that's true.
yeah,
Because
because then you're not a
otherwise,
project manager.
yeah,
Yeah,
if something goes wrong, you got to get out from underneath it.
Make this
yep.
project go
Just
away.
eat the crow and be done with it. Like eat,
I hate
yeah.
eating crow, but yeah. So yeah, I was feeling pretty terrible on Wednesday, but I feel like I'm making headway now, so I'm feeling pretty good today.
Awesome. I don't have furniture yet, but I will soon.
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know if I did I mention to you guys when I moved in here, I got an interior designer to design our
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we talked
space
about
and stuff.
yep.
Yeah, so I don't have
that.
blinds, I don't have curtains, I don't have furniture, but it's coming soon. We're actually hitting a date. Like by the end of this month, I will probably have closets, furniture, and window treatments.
You
I
don't
did
have
order
closets in
my
your house?
well, like custom closets, like the whole
Oh, I
organization.
see.
Organization.
But I did order a desk though, so and that is supposed to ship May 15th. And actually, you know what? This desk, I'm curious to see what Josh has to say about this because this is it was I gotta look it up. It's a standing sit desk.
Okay.
Uh, I probably actually should have run this by you, Josh, since you you know about this stuff. But it's the company is autonomous, or does that ring a bell?
Mm-mm. No, there's a
It
ton
rings
of
a bell for me. I met him at CES.
Oh, okay, autonomous, right? Is that the company then?
Yep.
Uh, okay, so the desk is like it's got AI in it.
Okay. Okay, so when your desk is like smarter than you, that starts to worry me. Like,
It's
no, John, you want to get to 7% body fat, you are going to be standing, my friend.
Did you
I
get
will
the?
not. I will not
I'm
lower. I
sorry,
don't care.
John. I can't
I
do
don't care.
that.
Yeah. There you go.
Just lower. I'm sorry, John. I can't do that.
So did you get the one with the Bluetooth speaker under it and the?
The HAL 9000 installation.
Yeah.
yeah,
It
so I
also had
got the
wireless
one.
charging on it. The one that I saw at
Yeah,
CES.
yeah. This is. It almost seems too good to be true, right? Because like we were looking at desks, like sit stand desks, and the designer had one picked out, and it was like $1,400, or it's like
Yeah.
a regular piece of furniture price. And there were some that were like 1,000 or seven, and there were some companies that where you could customize it, and by the time you're all done, it's like $2,500, right? But this one is like this smart standing desk with AI personal assistant, $449 base. And then like after the upgrades and shipping and everything, it was like
What what could
$668.
possibly go wrong? Oh my gosh.
But it looks good. I mean, it looks good. Like even without the AI is just I don't even know if I'll use it. But I thought if the AI does nothing else besides I say raise the desk and lower the desk, and if that works, it's supposed to have like built-in controls for like Wemo and Smart Things and Nest and all that. And but even if that stuff doesn't work, even if it just raises and lowers, that's worth it. But the desk itself, just being an automated, like even a push button, because the Pro version has like a push button up, raise it up and down,
Hmm.
motorized. If that just works and that was like $349 for that part, I
Yeah.
think. That's like a hell of a deal. Like,
The
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's not a bad deal at all. So the desk that I have is I actually wanted one of the motorized ones, but after having had this one, I don't want one anymore. This one is hydraulic,
Uh-huh.
and all I do is pull a lever and I push down and it drops, and then I
Oh.
pull the lever and it's actually faster. Like if I had a motor, I'd have to push it and it would probably take 20 or 30 seconds to raise and lower it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with this. But what you got looks almost exactly like this, only it's motorized and there's some kind of maybe voice recognition or something built in. And the price is fine. That you got a good deal. They're
Yeah.
usually the motorized ones are usually more like 800 to 1,000 or more. So like a Geek Desk, I don't remember what they cost, but they're pretty expensive. So sounds like
Yeah.
you got a good deal.
And this has like an ergonomic cutout, so it's like,
Yeah.
desk envelops you to some degree.
Oh yeah,
It's
that would be nice. I would kind of like that.
it's
Mine
like
does not have
53
that.
inches by 30, so I'm trying to think like it should be enough for like your laptop and an ultra wide curved monitor on there, and that's all I really
Yeah.
need. So
Cool.
anyway, I will have a desk pretty soon. That means I'll have my Rode Podcaster mic, and yeah, I won't be sitting here at a printer stand.
Yesterday, John and I had like this hour-long conversation, and all I could see of him was this, his nose and his hat. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I've been wanting to sit and stand desk for a while. My issue is that I can't get my wife to get quite on board with it. So
Man, that was a look.
what?
Just your follow up after you said you couldn't get your wife to get on board with it.
Yeah, well, I've got this giant desk that's got a huge mess all over it, and why do you need to spend $500 on a desk? You have a desk. So
It'll be too small for you to make a mess on.
that's true.
That could
No,
be a selling point.
it'll just be a mess that dumps itself on the floor when you use and lower it.
Yeah.
Chuck, why is there a mess all over your floor? It's not on my desk anymore.
Yeah. Nice. My girls came in and cleaned my office for me
Nice.
on Sunday, and I was a little concerned until I realized that they had just put things in piles, and then it was okay. Wrote notes on my whiteboard. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Derek,
Yes,
things have quieted down for you too.
they have. So last weekend was like roller coaster high, amazing. Got 3 subscribers at full price on Watch Me Code. Life was good, and radio silence since then. I've had 160 page views of the pricing and plans page, and it's like nothing. I'm getting no sales. I've had one bundle sale this week for $99, but I've had no new subscribers this week. So it's put me in a difficult situation emotionally and mentally because I know after doing some very basic math, I know that with my current rate of subscriber loss on the old plans, I only need 1 new subscriber per month to break even on my income. So
Really?
from that perspective, I'm good. I've got 3 months worth of income already in terms of just raw numbers if I divided that out over time. But seeing absolutely nothing for a full week is still really difficult to deal with, and I'm looking at it going, okay, what caused these people to sign up previously, and what's preventing people from signing up now? Is it the homepage? Is it the sales funnel in my email sequence? Is it the sign up process? Am I not explaining the full value correctly enough? I mean, there's so many things that I could be looking at and could be changing, and I don't know which pieces I need to be looking at and changing. It's like last week when I talked about focus and knowing exactly what I needed to work on. Well, now I'm clueless. I have no idea what I should be working on because I've gone through the full stack, top to bottom, for the entire the entire sales process, from getting into my blog posts, signing up for my mailing list, getting on the main list, getting on the sales pitch, getting into the discount emails. I mean, I've gone top to bottom. I've looked at the website for the landing page. I've looked at, I've done the whole thing, and I'm getting nothing right now, which I haven't had a ton of traffic. I recognize that. I only get, 5,300, 5,500 views on the site per month anyways, and that's with existing people and new people. But it's just like, okay, do I just need to wait longer? Did I do something wrong? Did I get the marketing message wrong? I mean, I've had people tell me that my marketing message is wrong. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss. I'm floundering and confused and don't know what to do again.
So, all right. So, what I think where you can go from here would be to start to look. You need to get like pretty good visibility into each step along the process. So, go back through.
I literally have no idea how to do it. I've been trying to do that for 3 years, and I have no idea how to do it.
Well, can I push this button real quick? Because if you only need 1 subscriber per month to stay at the place you're at now, then you have the room to figure it out, or you should.
I want to challenge that.
Not emotional room.
First of all, I have to say, Chuck, your cloaking device is amazing.
I have a lunch right after this call, so I have to get my shoes on.
Okay, back to the topic at hand.
All right, John, go.
Okay, I don't think you need 1 subscriber per month. Well, okay, if you do need 1 subscriber per month, then all you have to do is just go and manually sell.
Yeah,
right?
Go make a friend.
Just like go start talking to people on Twitter. Just like you can or knock door to door.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Call people on the phone.
I actually
you
think,
can definitely make 1 sale a month.
I actually think that's a really good idea. Like, because you're at this point, So when your transaction value goes up, you can get more high touch,
Right.
and it pays off. And at least now, with where you are, that actually could be really valuable to you because
Yeah.
you'd be learning how to sell this thing.
Exactly.
And that's like one of the biggest problems that so many people have, and they touched on this at Microcomps too.
Yeah, I
Is
remember that.
you
I'm thinking
try
through that
to
now.
you try to go too far. You try to get too hands off with the selling before
Yeah.
you even know how to sell the thing at all. And so you try to automate. You build this huge big machine, and pieces of it are broken, and you don't know what pieces.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, totally agree.
and I think you could start doing that, but I would challenge the idea that you need to make one sale per month because I don't think that's, well, what you need to do is you need to make enough sales per month that replace the current revenue level that you have from your
Which
subscribers.
right now is one per month, but
Yeah.
that's a very
Yeah.
temporary situation. As I continue to lose subscribers, lose old subscribers, then eventually I run out of old subscribers to lose, and I don't have that revenue anymore. So for the time being, for this month and for next month, one subscriber per month. But over time, it's going to be, okay, now I need two. Oh,
Yeah.
now I need three. Now I need four. But I have several months of runway before I get to the point where I need 10, 20 subscribers a month to offset.
If
Yeah.
you're talking about just from a cash basis, but if you're talking
Yes.
about the health of the business basis,
Right.
the sustainability, like
Yeah.
then
Right.
then
Yeah.
you need the 10 to 20.
Yeah, and I'm only talking about the cash flow right now, which is the thing that concerns me right now. Once I can get the sales funnel working again, then I'm
Well,
I'm less.
Yeah, but you can
It
be
is
that kind of
working.
short-sighted in the short term, and then solve some of these issues over the longer term.
Yeah, but you bring up a really good point about the high touch sales again, because that's what I was doing with Signal Leaf, and
Yeah.
it was working really well for me, and that's something that I've almost not done at all for Watch Me Code because I've been running this for so long at such a low price point.
And Noah Kagan's really impressed me with. I talked to him on Skype a while back, and he asked me about. I think it was about SumoMe, and
Yeah.
like I was like, oh yeah, I haven't installed it yet, and he was like, he did a really good job of like digging into why that was without making me feel like he was trying to sell me
Right.
or sounding pushy or anything. So like if you can kind of get the hang of that, you can get a lot of really good good intel that will help you. But I think what you need to do right now is your sales funnel is working, right? So don't tell yourself it's not working because it's working. You've made 3 sales. So it's
Only
working.
one of those
even,
came from my mailing list. The other 2 were brand new out of nowhere.
Well,
but
wait a
that's
minute.
that's
great.
good. That's
Yeah,
even
it
better.
is.
Those are
That-
tougher sales to make.
Yeah, but that's part of what's confusing me. I have no idea where they came from or why they signed up.
Well,
Well,
did
okay,
Call
but
'em.
that,
is it possible they came from your mailing list? Were they on your like? I mean,
No, I checked in Drip, and two out of the 3 were not on my mailing list prior to making that purchase.
right.
so
Well, you're gonna get some You're gonna get some foot traffic. We get that too. Like
Yeah.
10 steps sells to foot traffic. People just finding a link on Simple Programmer,
Mhm.
and we get multiple sales per week that way. And that's still part of the funnel. I mean, so really, I think like a very targeted thing that you could do right now would be to get a visualization in Google Analytics so that you can see your sales page, your add to cart page, and your conversion. Your actual.
Who am I
the
going to
actual-
hire to do that? Because I've
It's not.
tried.
It's actually not that hard. So
Then
okay.
I want you to do it. I will pay your hourly rate because I've tried. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Whatever name your hourly rate and let's
$2.50 an
get
hour
it
is what I
going.
usually quote these days. So
Done. Let's do it.
okay, we can look at your the only wild card is Restrict Content Pro and how well that works with analytics as far as it reports page views and everything, right? To
Yeah.
Google Analytics. Okay.
Yeah, I have not blocked any page from visibility. You can
Yeah.
you can go to any page on the site, whether or not you're logged in or a subscriber. You'll just want to see this content? Go subscribe.
Okay. So what you've got to figure out though is like So how are people clicking your buy now button? And if they are, like, are they,
Right.
and then how many of them are checking out? Like, you need to know that information before you do anything, because you might be having like, nobody's clicking the buy button. Well, okay, now you know that your sales page sucks.
Yeah.
Or there could be some kind of issue on the add to cart page where, like, I just updated our add to cart page. I added our guarantee. I added a review of what the actual contents of the course are, so you have to see everything there again, and then a testimonial. And it was early, but I think that's going to help significantly, because I talked to one of the people who bought How to Market Yourself a couple weeks ago. This was hilarious. So one of the things I told John when we first started working on this was that nobody goes to Google and types, how do I market myself as a software developer? Right. Because it's just, marketing's not, for a lot of developers, is not something that they're thinking about. Well, this guy went to Google, typed marketing, how to market myself as a software developer, and John's course came up, okay?
Yep.
And so he clicked over to that. He still went back and read the sales page 3 times before he decided to buy it.
Yeah.
And the thing that tipped him over the edge was the guarantee. So so that's why I put the guarantee on the checkout page.
Yeah.
So it could be that you're getting a lot of clicks to your checkout page and no one's taking that last leap, and there might be something very easy that you could do there. Checkout pages are very sensitive to changes, and they're like something that you can really optimize. So
yeah.
Someone might type in. You gotta get people to type in, how can I watch Derek Bailey code?
Right.
Exactly.
There you go. Do that. Slap a good guarantee on it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we can at least get that data, and then you can look at your Then you can look at your email stuff, which you already know. You can already check your, how many people are going through, how many people are clicking, what the open rates are.
Right.
And decide, whether those numbers look reasonable to you. And you can always improve them, but those are. I mean, that's really it, right? I mean, is there some other? What are some? I guess the other.
Once people get onto my site, that's where I lose track.
Yeah.
If you're in drip, if you're going through my email sequences, yeah, I know all about you. I can see that, no problem. As soon as you hit my actual website, I'm blind. I'm like, help!
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean you can see where people go. That's definitely what.
Yeah, and
I can do individual page searches in Google Analytics, but that doesn't help.
There's a funnel view where you can see where people start and where.
Yeah, here, Derek. I'm going to send a screenshot of what our funnel view looks like for how to market yourself, and it's pretty. I think I have it all working now. It's the tricky part with Google Analytics is just getting. Well, for us, since we're using DPD, the blogging course and how to market yourself are both looking the same to Google Analytics. So I was getting like, it was telling me that we were selling multiple copies of How to Market Yourself every day, which I would be very happy with, but just wasn't true. Yeah, so here, I'll figure out a way. I'll email this to you so you can see what we have.
Yeah, okay. But on a more positive note, my YouTube stuff is going really well.
Yay!
I've added 45 new subscribers in the last month versus 36 the prior month. I had for the first time in one of my YouTube videos that I released this week, blogged it today, I did the whole leave a comment below and hit like and subscribe, and I've had 6 comments on that video versus my average of 1 comment.
Nice.
So there's certainly been good things happening in the last week, but I know there's more I need to see and do in order to really make this work long term. And I've been thinking about the whole problem of a higher price point requiring more work and making the sales process more expensive, but being worth it in the long term. And I couldn't wrap my head around that for Watch Me Code for whatever reason. but talking about doing the manual stuff, do stuff that doesn't scale.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to go back to that with Watch Me Code and start
Yep.
doing that, because
Yep.
that's where I'm gonna have the real high touch, the real one-on-one value, because that's the real value that Watch Me Code provides, is that the very personalized experience. And that's the thing that I think I'm failing to convey appropriately on the website as well as in the email marketing, is that this is a community. This is, question and answer, high touch support. This is more than just screencasts.
Yeah.
Derek, I sent over the screenshot in your email, so it should
Okay.
be there.
That was the beeping a second ago.
Yeah, so I think that being able to see that would give you some good insight, and so you just need to know like where to focus your energy right now.
Yeah, I have no idea how you generated that funnel.
It's not hard. I can show you how to do it.
All right.
So
The
so
low price.
what's that?
I said
Yeah,
for the low price.
I
Yeah.
will gladly pay your hourly rate for help with this, because I've tried so many times and I'm clueless. I freaking hate Google Analytics. The only reason I use it is because it's free.
Yeah, I don't particularly. There's a lot I don't like about it too, but I'm not really great with it either. But I've figured out how to get certain things that I want out of it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I've got to take
can
off.
work
I
on that.
had a lunch scheduled an hour from now, and I just got a text moving it up. So
Oh, sweet.
I love it when that happens.
You got any bombs to drop on us? Thoughts before you leave?
Well, you turned your cloaking device off so I can see you again, so that was
I
nice.
know, right?
It's,
Yeah, all the blur on the wall. I mean, really, it's just no matter how deep in the well you feel like you are, you can find a way out if you're willing to do the work. And I don't know, I felt like I was at the bottom of the well on Wednesday, and I mean, just getting in and solving some of these things, even though I wound up having to fight a couple of fires that weren't those things yesterday, I still made some headway. I see some headway today. I should be able to get most of the headway on Monday and get a lot of stuff cleared up, and that kind of stuff, it's like, okay, my back's against the wall, I'm going to make a plan,
Yep.
and then I'm going to own it. And that's really powerful, and it saved me a couple of times from some pretty unfun problems.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
I guess we should all kind of wrap up.
yeah.
Sorry to kill the show.
I don't know. It's not. That's fine. I'm tired of talking today. I don't have the energy to talk. I recorded one screencast this morning, and it about killed me to actually talk for those 20 minutes. So
your thought for the day is talking is overrated.
yes, exactly. So I don't know. I guess my wife and I had this conversation about introversion versus extroversion yesterday at lunch, and I don't know if I have a real point to make other than saying, once again, understand yourself and know how to take care of yourself, because there are days when I just do not want to talk to anyone, and it's really difficult for me with my family, because my wife is very very much the opposite, and then my kids are just very needy because they're kids, and being able to just get away from literally everyone and just not have to deal with people is incredibly important to me, but it's incredibly difficult with my family because of all the needs of all the individual people. And I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just, I guess, figure out how to take care of yourself. Find a way that works for you and your circumstances.
Let's see. And Josh and I are in a stalemate.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess for me, I guess for me, it's just been the realization again this week that the ups and downs do not go away, no
No,
matter
they
how
never
much
do.
you think you're going to.
Yeah.
You will get tougher, and the challenges will just get bigger.
Yep.
So get over it, and it's part of the game.
Yeah, you look back at 2 years ago where all of us were and the challenges we faced then, and we can laugh
Yeah.
at those challenges now, like, oh, that was so easy. I can't believe I was ever worried about that. But that's only because we can look at it in retrospect, having solved those problems.
Yeah.
We're just facing new problems now, new problems every day, and we have to face those new problems all the time.
So I had this thought. I'll probably do a YouTube video on it that goes into more depth. But I saw a homeless guy. There's a lot of homeless guys here, but I saw this guy holding a sign, and he was eating like a piece of bread or sandwich or something. And I was thinking, this guy's standing here like all day, basically just trying to get some food, essentially. Like every day, his fight is essentially for survival, like just to get enough food to be a little bit full, or maybe some alcohol to get a little bit drunk, or whatever it is, you know. And I was like, and at first I was like, man, that's such a pitiful existence. And then I realized I was like, man, how many of us are actually that, really? Like
Hmm.
we're just like getting through the day,
With
like getting
zeros
through
on the end.
yeah, yeah, just to get some food in our belly, just to get like to have a couple of beers or whatever it is, and we're really no different. The only difference is that our lives are a little bit more stressful because we don't we're putting a lot more significance to all these other things that all boil down to this. So I guess what I'm saying is that like it's you know how they say it's just chips. Well, it's just atoms. It's just like all this stuff that we think is so important is not really all that important. Like, and we add all these layers and all these complexities and all this stuff. Like, life is pretty much just going to happen. And if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Like, we apply a lot of judgment to it to make it one thing or another and put ourselves through all this crap, or we just like just or we're just like clocking in and just getting through the day so we can eat our dinner. Like it's neither one of those is like so good. So I think the balance is in between, is somewhere like where you're like not just like overly, of course someone's calling me now, you're not overly concerned with um, you know with all the stuff that's going on, and you don't have that huge attachment to life, but you're also not like just focused on, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's it. I got distracted by the phone call.
Yeah, there's a quote that popped into my head. I think it's Shakespeare, but I heard it in
Yeah, it's
it
Shakespeare.
was either How to Win Friends or Seven Habits, one of those two. And the quote is, "Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so."
Yep.
And that's something that I have to constantly remind myself of. Like, okay, this sucks because of these expectations and because of these reasons that I have, but the reality is this is just the way things are. There's reasons for this, but whether or not this is a good or a bad experience is somewhat up to me and how I'm thinking about the experience.
Right. Exactly. Well, yeah, pretty much entirely up to you. Like it's what you choose. I mean,
Yeah.
another side of this is like, oh, that nice house and car and and comfortable living.
Hmm.
Does that make you happy? Well, if it doesn't, then why are you afraid to lose it? You see what I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't make you happy, then why are you so afraid to lose it? Then it doesn't matter. So, like, it's like you're either gonna, like, you're just gonna make a choice that you're just gonna enjoy life, or you're not.
Hmm.
Like, it's not gonna matter what's gonna happen. That's the thing. And so
Hmm.
life can either be something that you struggle to get through, and you hold up your sign, and hopefully someone gives you a sandwich, or it can just be, and you're just going to go through it and enjoy it every step of the way. But if you're trying to get the sandwich every day, that's kind of a pitiful existence. But a lot of us are just on that wheel trying to get the sandwich every day.
It's
And
interesting though. I spent a lot of time working with homeless people when I was in college, And as over time, you get to know some of them pretty well, and you start to hear their stories and where they came from and what they used to do, and some really interesting backstories to all of that. But more often than not, the people that had been out there the longest said without a doubt that they were more free at that point than when they had the good job and the good life and the good income.
Yep.
They had the real and true struggle for survival every day, but beyond that struggle, they had so much freedom and such a different level of stress and concern about their life, and it was very much easier for them to continue that existence than it was to try and struggle back into the quote normal life that the rest of us are running through.
Yep.
So a lot of it really is just your perspective and what your expectations are and your willingness to let go of things.
Be as free as a homeless person, but don't stink like one.
Words of wisdom.
Yes.
All right, guys. I think
All
that's a
right.
wrap.
All right.
See you
All
next
right.
week. Yes.
See
See
ya.
ya.